Are you constantly striving, pushing, grinding, and yet abundance still feels just out of reach? Does it ever feel like the harder you work, the more you chase, the less life gives back to you? What if I told you the secret to unlocking everything you desire isn't about working harder? It's about letting go. This is the paradox. This is the mystery. This is the door so many people overlook. Abundance doesn't always respond to effort. Abundance responds to alignment. And alignment isn't something you force, it's something you allow. The illusion of control. Let's begin here. Control. We love it. We worship it. We cling to it like it's oxygen. We control our schedules. We control our finances. We control our relationships. We control our image, our words, our timing, our future. But here's the truth most of us don't want to face. Control is a mask. It feels like safety. It feels like certainty. But more often than not, it is resistance. And resistance is the enemy of flow. Think about it. Have you ever tried to plan something perfectly, only for everything to collapse? Maybe you mapped out the perfect career move, only to be blindsided by a layoff. Maybe you tried to script every step of a relationship, only to watch it slip through your fingers. Maybe you budgeted and calculated down to the dollar, only to be hit with an unexpected expense that threw it all off. We plan and push. We hustle and grind. But sometimes, the more we push, the further abundance drifts away. I remember a time when I was clinging so tightly to an outcome, trying to force it, micromanage it, control every step, that I couldn't see how much I was suffocating myself. I thought I was being responsible. I thought I was being wise. But in reality, I was blocking the very blessings I was praying for. Life doesn't flow through clenched fists. It flows through open palms. The abundance paradox. Here is the paradox. The harder you grasp, the less you hold. The more you push, the more you stall. The tighter you grip, the more it slips away. But the moment you let go, the river carries you farther than effort ever could. Abundance is like water. Try to clutch it too tightly, and it runs through your fingers. But hold out your hands, gently, openly, and suddenly you are filled. This is the paradox of wealth, of joy, of peace. It doesn't arrive because you control everything. It arrives because you create space for it. I call this the shift from force to flow. Force says, I must make this happen, or else I fail. Flow says, I trust what is meant for me cannot miss me. Force burns you out. Flow builds you up. Force is rooted in fear. Flow is rooted in faith. And when you step into flow, you step into abundance. Why we fear letting go. But let's be honest, letting go is terrifying. It feels like losing control. It feels like standing in the dark without a flashlight. Why do we cling so hard? Because deep down, we're afraid. We're afraid that if we don't control every detail, life will collapse. We're afraid that if we don't hold on tight, everything we've built will disappear. We're afraid that if we stop hustling, we'll fall behind. But here's the greater truth. You were never in control to begin with. The sun rises whether you plan it or not. The seasons change whether you schedule them or not. The trees grow whether you permit them or not. Life moves, life flows, life expands. And none of it has ever depended on your grip. And that, my friend, is the freedom. When you release control, you don't lose power. You gain it. Because power isn't in controlling outcomes. Power is in aligning yourself with the current that is already carrying you toward everything you desire. The beauty of surrender. Surrender is not weakness. It is not defeat. It is not giving up. Surrender is trust in motion. It is faith made visible. Surrender says, I release my need to know how. I release my need to know when. I release my need to manage every detail. I choose to trust that what is meant for me will find me, and it will. When you stop fighting the river carries you. When you stop resisting life, life opens her arms to you. When you unclench your hands, suddenly, you're free to receive. Spoken word. Rhythm. Break. The more I force, the more I fail. The more I clutch, the more I lose. The more I fight, the more I fall. But the more I trust, the more I rise. The more I release, the more I receive. The more I flow, the more I overflow. This is the truth of surrender. This is the doorway into abundance. Practical steps to release control. It's one thing to talk about surrender. It's another to actually live it. So let's make this simple, tangible, real. Here are the practices that turn surrender into something you do, not just something you think about. Step 1. Awareness. Catch yourself. Gripping. The first step is awareness. You cannot release what you don't realize you're holding. Notice when your body tightens. Notice when your thoughts spiral. Notice when you feel that frantic energy. I must fix this. I must control this. I must make this happen now. That's your signal. That's your body whispering. You're gripping too hard. In that moment, pause. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to carry the entire world. Just notice. Because awareness is the doorway to release. Step 2. Breathe. The reset button. The simplest way to let go. Your breath. Take 3 slow inhales, hold for 3, exhale for 3, and with each breath repeat. I release, I trust, I allow. Say it again. Feel it in your chest. I release, I trust, I allow. Your breath is proof. Proof that life flows without you forcing it. You don't make your heart beat. You don't make your lungs expand. Life is moving in you, through you, without your control. When you breathe consciously, you remember. Letting go is natural. Step 3. Shift the language. Words are powerful. They shape your reality. Instead of, I must make this happen, say, I welcome what is meant for me. Instead of, if I don't control this, it will all fall apart. Say, everything is unfolding in perfect timing. Instead of, I can't trust life. Say, life supports me, always. Language shifts belief. Belief shifts energy. Energy shifts reality. And when your words align with trust, your world follows. Step 4. Release the timeline. One of the biggest traps of control is time. We say, by this date, I must have this. By this age, I must achieve that. By next month, everything must change. But life doesn't run on your clock. Life runs on divine timing. When you release your timeline, you create space for miracles. The right opportunities, the right people, the right breakthroughs. Often they arrive later than you wanted, but sooner than you thought possible. Remember, delay is not denial. It's alignment. Step 5. Daily ritual of surrender. Surrender must be practiced. So here's a ritual to anchor you. Every morning, place your hand on your heart, take a breath, and say, I release control. I trust the flow. Abundance is mine. Every night before you close your eyes, whisper, I release the day. I trust tomorrow. I allow peace to fill me. Morning, night, repeat. This simple ritual rewires your mind, body, and spirit to live in surrender. The integration of trust. Now, let's bring this into daily life. You're at work. The project isn't going the way you planned. Instead of spiraling into panic, you pause, you breathe. You remind yourself, I cannot control every detail, but I can trust the process. The solution will come. You're in a relationship. You feel yourself getting defensive, ready to argue. Instead, you pause. You release your need to be right. You breathe. You remember, love is not control. Love is flow. You're dealing with money. The bills feel heavy. Instead of spiraling into scarcity, you stop, you breathe, you declare, I release fear, I trust abundance. I allow wealth to flow in ways I cannot yet see. This is how surrender becomes real. Not just in meditation, but in the messy middle of everyday life. What happens when you release control? When you release control, 3 things happen. Energy returns to you. Trying to control everything is exhausting. When you let go, your energy comes back. You feel lighter, freer, more alive. Opportunities appear. When you stop forcing, you create space. And into that space, new opportunities flow. Opportunities you couldn't see when you were too busy gripping. Peace expands. Peace isn't found in perfect conditions. Peace is found in trust. And when you trust, stress melts. Fear dissolves. Your body relaxes. Abundance doesn't just mean money. It means peace. It means love. It means energy. And all of that becomes available when you stop clutching so tightly to what you think must happen. Spoken word rhythm break. I don't need to know how. I don't need to know when. I don't need to manage every detail. I only need to trust, to breathe, to open my hands, because what is meant for me will always find me. Daytime reminder practice. Here's a tool you can use during your day. Write the words "release" and "trust" on a small card or sticky note. Keep it in your pocket, your wallet, or your desk. Whenever you feel yourself tightening, pull it out. Read it. Say it out loud if you can. Release and trust. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. Because every reminder trains your mind to choose surrender over stress. Nightly integration. And at night, reflect. Ask yourself, where did I fight today? Where did I flow? Where did I release? Where did I still grip? Don't judge yourself. Don't shame yourself. Just notice. Smile at your progress. Even catching yourself once is growth. Even releasing for a moment is progress. And progress builds momentum. Over time, you'll notice. You grip less. You trust more. You stress less. You smile more. And that, my friend, is the journey into abundance. The deeper transformation. When you surrender, you don't just change your mindset, you change your life. Surrender is not just about feeling peaceful. It is about opening every area of your life to expansion. Love expands, career expands, money expands, your very sense of self expands. Let's walk through each doorway together. Love and relationships. Think about how control shows up in love. We try to control how people see us. We try to control how partners respond. We try to control the timeline of love, when it should happen, how it should unfold. But love, real love, cannot be controlled. Love suffocates under pressure. Love shrinks when it is micromanaged. Love becomes brittle when you demand it look a certain way. When you release control in love, you allow intimacy. You allow vulnerability. You allow freedom. And freedom is where passion lives. For the single heart. If you are waiting for love, surrender means you stop hunting for it in every corner. You stop forcing connections that don't feel aligned. You stop clinging to timelines that whisper, you should have found love by now. Instead, you breathe. You trust. You open your hands and let life surprise you. Because the right love often arrives when you stop searching. It arrives when you are too busy living in flow to chase. For the committed heart. If you are partnered, surrender means you stop demanding perfection. You stop trying to script your partner's every word or action. You release the urge to win every argument, to be right every time. Instead, you let the relationship breathe. You let your partner be human. You trust that love grows not by control, but by grace. And suddenly, arguments soften, walls crumble, connection deepens, because love expands when you stop clenching your fist around it. Career and purpose. Now let's move to your work. How often do we try to force our careers? We chase promotions. We manipulate timelines. We compare ourselves to others and demand, why not me? Why not now? But careers, like rivers, have seasons. Sometimes it's planting. Sometimes it's harvest. Sometimes it's winter and nothing seems to grow. And when you try to force it, when you grip too hard, you burn out. Surrender in career means this. You show up. You give your best, but you stop trying to control outcomes that were never yours to manage. You trust that the right opportunity will open in the right timing. You trust that rejection is not failure, it's redirection. You trust that your path is unfolding, even when you can't see it. And what happens? Peace returns. Joy returns, energy returns, and into that space, new opportunities appear, often bigger than the ones you were chasing. Spoken word rhythm break. When I force, I fall. When I trust, I rise. When I push, doors close. When I allow, doors open. When I cling, I shrink. When I surrender, I expand. This is the rhythm of abundance in your work. Money and abundance. Now let's talk about money, because control grips us tightest here. We plan every dollar. We stress over every bill. We grip our wallets with fear, whispering, there will never be enough. But money, like love, like water, like energy, needs flow. When you hoard, when you clutch, when you panic, you block the flow. When you release, when you trust, when you give, you open the flow. Surrender with money doesn't mean recklessness. It doesn't mean ignoring your bills. It means trusting that money is a river, not a prison. It comes in, it goes out. And when you stay in trust, it always comes back to you. A shift in money mindset. Instead of saying, I can't spend because I'll lose it, say, I invest in myself and it returns multiplied. Instead of, there's never enough, say, I live in overflow. Abundance surrounds me. Instead of, I must control every penny or I'll fail, say, I am wise, I am generous, and wealth flows to me. A practice of flow. The next time you pay a bill, don't grit your teeth. Don't stress. Instead, whisper, I release this with gratitude. I trust it will return multiplied. And watch how your relationship with money shifts. Because abundance isn't just about numbers, it's about energy. And when you release fear, the numbers follow. Spiritual growth. Surrender doesn't just shift your outer world. It transforms your inner world. Because surrender is the heart of spirituality. Every prayer is surrender. Every meditation is surrender. Every deep breath is surrender. Spiritual growth happens not when you know more, but when you release more. Release fear, release control, release the need to always have the answers. And what remains? Peace, trust, union with the flow of life. The highest surrender. The highest form of surrender is this: to stop asking, how can I control life? And start asking, how can I let life move through me? Because when you let life move through you, you become unstoppable. Your energy expands, your joy deepens, your abundance multiplies. You stop clinging, you start flowing, you stop forcing, you start allowing, and in that moment, you step into alignment. And in alignment, you step into everything you've ever desired. Daily affirmations for surrender and flow. Affirmations are how we train the mind to release and trust. When you repeat them daily, they stop being words on a page. They become the energy you live in. Here are affirmations to anchor you in surrender. I release the need to control. I trust the timing of my life. Abundance flows to me effortlessly. I am safe in the unknown. What is meant for me will always find me. I welcome peace, prosperity, and progress. I choose flow over force. The universe supports me in every step. I am open, I am ready, I am receptive. Repeat them in the morning. Whisper them at night. Carry them in your pocket. Let them become the rhythm of your breath. Morning ritual. Opening hands. Begin your day with open hands, literally. When you wake up, sit on the edge of your bed. Place your palms open on your lap. Take a deep breath. Say out loud, I open myself to what this day brings. I release control. I welcome abundance. Then step into your day with trust. This simple ritual rewires your morning energy. You start not with fear, but with flow. Daytime practice. Pause and breathe. During the day, when stress tries to grip you, pause. Place one hand on your heart, one on your belly. Breathe. Say softly, I release. I trust. I allow. Do this in the car. Do this in the office. Do this in the grocery store. It doesn't matter where you are. This pause is your doorway back into alignment. Evening ritual. The release. At night before bed, close your eyes. Say, I release today. I trust tomorrow. I allow peace to fill me. Breathe out the stress. Breathe in the peace. Let your body soften into surrender. Fall asleep, not gripping, but flowing. Real life application. Let's bring this into real life with a story. Imagine this. You're at work. A deadline looms. Everything feels like it's falling apart. Your old self wants to panic, control every detail, micromanage every person. But this time, you pause, you breathe, you whisper, I release, I trust, I allow. And suddenly, you notice a solution you couldn't see before. A coworker steps in with help. The project flows easier than you expected. This is not magic. It is alignment. Or picture this. You're in traffic, late for an appointment. The old you is gripping the wheel, cursing, stressing. But the new you exhales. You turn on music. You surrender to what is. And you realize. You arrive calmer, lighter, with energy to spare. This is surrender in action. This is how abundance begins to show up. In peace, in unexpected help, in ease. The prophetic closing vision. Now close your eyes and hear this truth. You do not need to control every detail. You do not need to force what is already flowing toward you. The universe has been waiting for your open hands. The river has been waiting for your surrender. And abundance has been waiting for your trust. You are not meant to fight the current. You are meant to float in it, to be carried to places greater than your plans, to receive blessings bigger than your imagination. Spoken word, Imbrake. I release my fear. I release my grip. I release my need to know. I trust the flow. I trust the timing. I trust abundance. I allow peace. I allow prosperity. I allow joy. I open my hands, and life fills them. The final invitation. So let this be your moment. Let this be the month you unclench your fists. Let this be the season you stop controlling and start allowing. Because abundance doesn't come through struggle. It comes through surrender. And the moment you trust the flow, you stop chasing and start receiving. Arms open, heart open, hands open. Abundance is here. Flow into it.